I feel like people only have kids for themselves. Bringing a child into this fucked up world because you feel the need to create something. I mean, if you really think about it, if it was really about the kid, more people would adopt.
People who choose not to have kids are usually called selfish, accused of being lazy, and several other disrespectful insinuations. Meanwhile, people who want to have biological children can never give you a reason that isn't selfish. We're going to talk about the stigma around not wanting to have kids, and why people who chose to have biological kids are hypocrites and are the ones that are actually selfish.
Is it worth it? Oh yeah, it's worth it.
Telling child-free people that they're going to die alone is one of the preferred insults and fear-mongering tactics that people use to diminish us, to belittle our lifestyle, and to validate their own choices for having children. The thing is, when people say these things, they're also simultaneously illuminating how self-serving they are in their motivations for having kids. Like, clearly they had kids so they could ensure against loneliness when they were older. They had kids so they would have someone to take care of them and entertain them. Tell me that's not the most self-serving thing you've ever heard.
If you ask parents why they had children, they would say things like, "Because I love children. Because I would be a great mother. Because I always dreamed of a happy family." Even though you don't have to have kids to have a family. But the point is, they don't seem to notice all those reasons have something in common. The I. That's the ego. When you begin to acknowledge and become aware that your parenting is fused with the prominence of the ego, that makes you realize that you aren't doing your children any favors, and you haven't rescued them from the ravages of hell by having them. Contrary to what many parents believe, parents have a delusion that they are selfless and superior. They have a God complex and act like they're the savior for taking care of a child they brought into this world against the child's will. And due to that delusion parents have that they somehow selflessly brought their children into this world, they now feel like they have the right to mold those children into what they want them to be. Other than that, it's also unethical to have biological kids, because the world we live in today is getting progressively worse. With the economy and climate change, the future is looking a little bleak. And some parents try to convince themselves that they'll somehow be able to protect their kids from the effects of this, that their child is so special that the worsening climate and economy will somehow not affect their kids at all. But we all should know that this will affect every single person on Earth, no matter where you are. It's not pessimism. It's just being realistic. One of the biggest injustices in the world today is bringing a child into this world and not even be able to offer that child a peaceful, healthy life. This brings me to what I want to talk about next.
Immediately screams trashy parenting to you.
Having kids when you cannot afford them. Having kids until you get a boy. Having a kid to save a marriage or relationship. Having a kid because you did not use protection when you are not in a financially stable place or right headspace to bring in a child to this world, and you still do it anyway. We're like, "Oh, Nate, you support eugenics." It's like, no. I support common sense. Why would you be having kids if you cannot afford them? Why you keep trying for a boy when you have 3 beautiful girls? Like,
people treat kids like prizes or pets. Like every single person on Earth is entitled to them, even people who can't afford to take care of them. There are thousands, if not millions, of adults who are just not fit to be parents and should quite literally never be allowed to have kids. It's so sad that we live in a world where a broke, uneducated, even abusive man can get as many women pregnant as he wants and have tons of children while loving, financially stable and healthy. Same-sex couples aren't even allowed to adopt.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro. Like,
my legacy is me. My legacy is not my kids. My legacy is me. My legacy is my show. My legacy is Amani. My legacy is not my kids, because average people will be like, "Oh, I want a legacy," but you're average. You live like a peasant. So what is your legacy? Let's say that you are above average. You're a millionaire. You're brilliant. You've made all these contributions to society. Your kid could come out to be a crackhead.
True.
Your kids could come out to be a school shooter. And that's the legacy? That's your legacy? I don't think that legacies, people even really know what they mean. Because your legacy starts with you. And if you don't have a legacy in your name, your kids ain't got shit to do with your legacy. People think that a legacy is just having kids. No, your legacy is what you set your kids up for. And a lot of people don't got 2 pennies to rub together but want to have kids and a legacy. What legacy do you have? A legacy of debt? You are an everyday average citizen, sir.
So you consider, that's so fucking selfish, bro. So selfish.
Actually, it's selfish to have kids because you think that you're so great that you're going to pass on something great to your kids, to the world. You're not that great.
Can we please stop collectively as a society, stop pushing
the myth that having a baby is a selfless act? I hear people say that shit all like, that's the most selfless thing that you'll ever do. No, it's not. It's not selfless. It's selfish. Why? You fall in love with a miniature version of you. What's more selfish than that? You're like, this is awesome. He looks just like me. I've never loved anything more in my entire life. My favorite parts of you are the parts that look like me. Some parts look like you, those parts are alright, but the parts that look like me are amazing. I would do anything for you, mostly because I feel like I'm doing it for myself. You're the best, new, fresh me. That's what you're doing when you have a kid. You're populating the world with more of you. You're saying, I'm fantastic, here's another one of me. Do we really need that many more of you?
I just saw this post. No, actually, what am I supposed to do if I don't have a daughter? I'm just not meant to be a boy mom. My entire childhood and even now, I always thought about this. I do not want to have a son. I'm so sorry to all the boys and men out there, but I genuinely don't want a son. There's too many risks involved. You know, like when they're young, like that's fine. They're going to be normal. They're just going to be like a child. But then when they grow up, I can't. I just can't. Like I won't defend them. Anything that they do negative towards women, I just won't defend them. Like there are boy moms who are like, no, my son would never. Like, yeah, my son would. Like he 100% would. In court, if I have to testify, like, no, yeah, he 100% did it. And I don't feel bad. Even if it was a daughter, I would say the same thing, but then the risk is just way higher with the son. So, like, even if it was a daughter, I wouldn't defend them at all. But, like, just it being a son and just the fact that that is 100% a possibility, anything negative happening, you know what I mean? I just can't.
Great. Those will always deserve to be for rejecting nice guys.
All right, so let me say this. I am his mother, and I've tried for years to tell him and encourage him to get therapy and help. I've told him multiple times that you have mommy issues. Me, I'm the mama. So you have issues with me, and you need to go to therapy and get those things worked out, because if you respect me and if you love me and don't have issues with me, then you wouldn't be attacking women for no reason at all. Here's the thing. No one deserves that. No one deserves to be talked to any kind of way. No one deserves to be mistreated, threatened, feel unsafe, or anything like that because of his issues. His issues is his issues, and he needs to work on them. There is no excuse. Mental health is a very serious issue that we have going on, right? But he knows right from wrong. And you know right from wrong, and you know that this is wrong, and you continuing to do it, that means you're making a choice to do it. I have said multiple times, you're going to get your beat or you're going to get killed because of the stuff you be saying and how you be acting and doing, because it's not funny and there's nothing about it that's respectful. And if it don't do it to you, they're going to come do it to me, and I'm going to be the one that's getting harmed because of something you're doing. And he still does it. When I ask him, hey, have you been doing XYZ? No, I don't even do stuff like that. And then I have people messaging me telling me that he's doing it. I don't appreciate that, because I don't think that way. I don't talk that way. And I don't condone those types of behaviors. As of recently, I told him, don't come around me. You can't come around me. You can't be near me, because I'm not about to be caught up in no foolishness for you or anything like that. A lot of people may say, oh, it's his mama's fault. He's 20 years old. Been telling this brother, this young man, my son, to get help forever. He said he don't need no help. I can't make a 20-year-old go to therapy. I can't make him do it. He refuses to do it because he said there's nothing wrong with him and he doesn't need any help. So, whatever happens to him, happens to him. He made his bed, so now he has to lie in it. But from me, I feel ashamed. I'm very disappointed. It's disgusting. And I'm sorry to the people that have been affected by the things that he has said over the years and has done with harassing people and constantly antagonizing people. Because enough is enough.
This is why having a son especially is too risky. Because they'll most likely be a danger to other people, women and girls especially. I admire this mother for calling him out, because most mothers wouldn't do what she just did. Most mothers would defend their son's terrible actions and even cover up for them. But I'm glad she chose not to do that.
Gen Z, younger millennials, government here. Why aren't y'all having any babies? Yeah, I don't know. Probably because I'm 26 and I don't even know if the fucking earth will be habitable for me by the time I'm 40. I work and 80% of my income goes to rent. The rest go to food. Maybe because if I have that bitch, it'll die. Probably because I can't feed it or me. Is that it? No, I got more. I got other reasons. It's a lot of them. Matter of fact, well, look, Uncle Sam gonna be straight with you. Y'all generation not falling for it no more, and we need more people that we can lie and trick into working for some that they'll never obtain, so that then we could create problems and sell them the solutions and get richer.
I don't think I would be a good mother, and in order to find out if I am wrong, I would have to open Pandora's box. If I open the box and am wrong, a child suffers for my choice. I think that goes in the reverse too. Even if you think that you would be a good mom, you will never really know until it happens, and by then it's too late. This one I don't think gets discussed enough. This person said, I don't have a reason to have kids. And this person said, counterpoint, why do you? Oh my god, this one. Because I'm the woman. That is the realest fucking thing. Because if I was a man, I probably would have children. But I'm staunchly child-free. And finally, this person said, I have no maternal instinct towards kids. Nothing makes me want to hold a baby or play with a toddler. I don't find them cute. They also said, I also have anger issues and refuse to put a kid through what my dad put me through. Gotta break the cycle somewhere. This is a sign of a compassionate, empathetic person who is recognizing their own faults and choosing to not put another person through that. And that is major.
He thinks that childless people should lose their right to vote because they don't have a stake in the future. And the funniest thing to me about this article is it really shows the complete and utter stupidity of some of the comments we get as childless and child-free people. Because when parents are like, I didn't know love until I had a baby. I was a selfish prick before I had kids. I had to push a person out of my body to learn to be compassionate. Like, peachy for you, Deborah, but I didn't have to go through labor to know that being a selfish prick is a bad thing. Like, are we not more concerned about the fact that someone cannot fathom people caring about things that don't personally affect them? Like, yeah, I'm not going to be here in 100 years, but that doesn't mean I don't care about the planet or the things living on the planet or children. I donate to my local library because I think children deserve access to books. If I was an American, I would 100% vote for free lunches for children, unlike the Republicans. Maybe what we should be really concerned about is the fact that people who cannot see outside themselves are the ones raising the next generation. I'm gonna say Elon is probably not gonna be up for Dad of the Year anytime soon.
When I tell people I don't want to have kids or I don't want to be married, and they tell me, oh no, you're gonna change your mind. You're gonna meet a guy and you're gonna change your mind on those decisions. I always ask them, do you think I'm stupid? And then they'll try to save themselves with some bullshit of, no, it just takes the right one. Da, da, da. But I love to follow up that conversation with, am I stupid? Because you must think I'm stupid to be 28 years old and have been making decisions up until this point in my life that have got me here. But that one really big decision of having a kid or being married, I don't know about that. I don't know myself that much. Or you're telling me that that decision is actually not mine, and that even though I've decided and I've told you I'm not going to be doing these two things, it's actually going to take another man's opinion and decision on my body whether or not we're going to have kids. Like, you must think I'm weak, I'm stupid. Which one is it? Choose one way to diss me. How are you going to choose all of them? I recommend you use this because although that person will never speak to you again, it does give you that chance to go head to head with someone who has like deep-rooted misogyny living in them. And honestly, those people need to be shutted up the most.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That people who don't want kids actually understand the implications of having and raising a child and view children as little humans who will eventually form their own thoughts, feelings, morals, ethics, and sense of identity, and not as pawns who can fill whatever emotional need you may or may not have.
People care about human trafficking, they have to care about foster care. 60 to 85% of human trafficking victims in the U.S. are directly involved in the foster care system. It's really like this pipeline because, youth emancipate, they don't have any place to go. People are prowling on them because they're vulnerable and they need a home and they need taken care of. And so these people say, oh, I'll take care of you if, and then they fall into trafficking. So really those things, first off, like they correlate, but really we should just care about kids in the foster care system and people involved in it because we should care about the things that God cares about.
Okay, so I just got a email.
Okay.
And it is the hospital bill for having Quincy.
Okay.
Okay, I had my baby in January beginning of January, just got the bill for the total of everything. For reference, went into the hospital Wednesday. I got released Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I was there for 3 nights. I was in there for 3 nights. I had to get medically induced.
Epidural.
Got an epidural, and there was no complications or anything like that. So the total charges, all combined, $87,891.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's break it down. For the room that I had the baby in, it's